And welcome! You are listening to episode 69 of the Niiiiine Video Games Podcast, coming to you live on Twitch from Scotland on Thursday, the 6th of August 2020. I am Gary Hogg-Simmons, and joining me today is Colin Little.
Oh.
And Paul Kaczynski.
Hello!
And we are the Niiiiine. We have nothing to do with the video games industry. We don't make them, we don't sell them, and we're not even particularly good at them. We are the Niiiiine, and at some point you've probably kicked our asses online.
Nah. 69. Nah.
So very suitable for me hosting this episode. As someone said last week, and I was like, I don't know what you're trying to insinuate, but I mean,
My favourite thing
going.
is that for the super sexy episode, Gary's come dressed as Hugh Hefner meets Vanilla Ice.
There's a meeting for you.
It's just what everyone has been dying to see. I am roasting.
What's the betting they met? I bet they did meet. I bet they met.
What kind of chat would you get from Vanilla Ice and Hugh Hefner? A bit all women.
I think it'd be disgusting. It'd be
All
vile.
women.
It'd be unrepeatable. You'd just like that's his own whole movement. That would just be like burn down the mansion.
Vanilla Ice has got like the strangest, like the least street name in the world. It's something like Van Winkle or something like that. His name is.
So it is. It is.
I never knew that.
It's something like Van Winkle or something. I can't remember his exact name. Maybe somebody in the chat will know, but he's got a really unstreet name.
So it is. You're right. You're right.
That's so bizarre. How are we, boys? Are we good?
All well, my man?
All good, yes,
Have
absolutely.
You both recovered from your raps?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I mean, that's been, what, a month since you did yours, Paul?
I've been sunning on a beach somewhere.
And how many names did you have to rap, Paul?
I think I had possibly 32.
Yep, I think it was. And Colin, how many did you have to rap?
I think I had 54, maybe 52.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, but thanks to you all, I have 72. Yeah,
More
72.
thanks to the very mischievous Niiiiine community and a few very mischievous people in particular. Certainly, Mr. Totana, right up the top.
Absolutely.
With his ludicrous amount of gifted subs, and then Racturian's been at it as well, and Bry. So yes.
At this point, I'm pretty sure that Titana's a secret millionaire.
And without a doubt.
Yep.
Without a doubt. It's that program. Is it called Secret Millionaire?
Yes.
And then there's undercover bosses as well. Like
undercover boss. That's it. He's undercover boss for like the arts world.
Yeah.
He owns the arts world.
And he's checking in and he's people.
If any artists are out there struggling, then Titana is far more approachable than Creative Scotland are.
Oh, he's went on record. I love it.
The controversy.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And the wave of support is behind you, Colin. He's not wrong.
Yes. I'm gonna burn it to the ground. I'm gonna burn everything to the ground.
Oh.
We've been slightly off topic here.
I know.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to go get ready because this is not my rap outfit. That is really sad to hear. I know.
That's just his normal outfit.
This is just what I wear every day around the house. Poor Mark. It's like
loungewear.
I feel so sorry for the people that are just listening in Audible. And the hype train's just started as well, boys. So.
Okay, let's see what y'all do. Try to phase me out. It's not going to work.
This is insane. I can't believe there's a hate train happened before the rap.
So I got to leave you in Paul and Colin's capable hands while I get ready, and then we will see the final frontier. I mean, final rap, not battle, but rap, producer rap. That's what I'm looking for.
The final one.
I'll be right back.
Oh my. Right. Colin, so you had 52 names. I'm putting you on your spot, right? What was the most difficult name that you had?
Topoticus was quite difficult. Ewapiti was quite a tricky one.
Ewapiti, yeah, because I couldn't actually remember how to pronounce it. I kept wanting to put in more syllables, like Ewapititi.
I'm trying to think if there was any other ones that were really, really tough. No, I mean, they were all right. I think for me it was just trying to get them all in with the either deciding where the numbers came and trying to build the rhyme. For Christ's sake!
I just seen that there. Racturian, that is outrageous. Unfortunately, they won't be in the rap. I'm sad to say. Gary Hogg can't hear us at the moment.
Quick, right. You've got another 5 names. Quick. Shaheem at 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Get Feral Magical Girl.
Racturian, that is out of order.
I heard that.
For the audio people, Racturian's just gifted a whole load of subs in the channel. So thank you once again, Racturian. You're outrageous. It's
insane. This hype train is going mental.
We're now at level 3 of a hype train. Could you believe it?
We're at 91% of a level 3 hype train. This is insane. Gary's still changing. This is
Brian,
insane.
I'm just seeing your chat. It's been agreed that it was always going to be one round of the rap.
Yeah.
So I did it, Colin did it, and Gary did it, and that would be the end. The only difference is that Colin Little's made a promise. You tell us, Colin. No,
yes,
no.
I did make a promise. This will be the last rap until we get to 100 subs, and if we get to 100 subs, I and only me, I will do a one-off sequel with the 100 names. But that's it.
Is that going to be on a podcast, Colin?
I think it'll be a podcast itself. But yeah, I'll do it. I will do it on a podcast. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's level 3 of the hype train complete. Outrageous.
Insane.
I wonder if is Gary taking as long to dress as he's going to take to do this rap?
I'm a little bit. I was going to say. I was
oh
a little
my
concerned
god!
that he maybe got in a car and drove away. But unfortunately for all you lot, he has not done that.
That was we can see Gary at the moment on our camera. So I mean, the side view alone was something. Yeah, there you go.
Doing funny things to me. It's doing funny things to me.
Well, I mean, Gary, how are you placed? Are you quite happy to get this show on the road here?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not.
These are new. Do you know how to work these?
All will be revealed, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I just say, in case this gets us cancelled, yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. We've had a wonderful time. Thank you for all the support.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, unbelievably, the final producer's rap for now will be performed by Gary Hogg-Simmons with a glorious 72 subscribers, which is phenomenal. Thank you so much. Take it away, Gary.
Y'all thought the producer rap is over, but Blunderball 87 about to swag in here with that triple threat bounce. It's a Niiiiine party up in Arcade Glasgow. Rolling up to the club with my fellas Poke and Colin M. Feeling hella swagging from head to toe by Diet Punk and dripping in Gucci and Prada. Blinging like I'm Totana. Meeting producers like Ches West and find an OP so we can party. Yo, Sherry Bobbins on 9 put the cross stitch down and party. The wee maverick making toasties, burning cheese on the grill. This party bopping cause just after 6 is keeping it chill. Daybreak 5091 controversy with our eggy bread crapping. Right 228 and Arcane X stopping Colin from banning. We make our way past bouncers, won't that saggy 67, and they pop the barley, which Luke Boogie has already dove into. Drinks are flowing free and nicely, cause heads up beam is so pricey, with cold shower oxide and vodka chillin' like ice. A on the dance floor, Jamesy 42 and Hosey Keenan 1888 are crunking to the beats, and Sniggle Art is showing off their hate. Being spooky in the corner like Ghostbusters is ghastly tales, and original Stephen Marley walking any survivors that fail. Jabrias bought his board games and Gavin Laugh he got his guitar. But 3 Beat Steve has other planes and boots up PS2 SingStar. Mishmallow rockin' vocals and Jay play games with ukulele, and Nintendo with his puppy eyes serving finest daily. Nappuccino going crazy over Shark Week, ready to blow. We got the monkeys, chaos and evil, who are playing it low. And then the state kicks 90, who just don't know how much we love him so. Tea party, kiss an enemy who are making a brew. While Aaron G Spot 20's one's name is turning the air blue. Niiiiine conga and arcade is nightly, with Hamster Boy and Tiku 87 leading it tightly. Shumba X is dancing with Cryptic Magus. They don't like no Backstreet Boys and keeping it flyest. Kimber Smith is hunting pops for patient, all 9 drops and dancing. Toaster marks the moves and is counting the flops. Hey, where did my beat go? We got so many more names. Let's break it down. Wobble 362 has a party for you. Venom MDK looks like it's going their way. Andy McG 303, you don't wanna be the guys messing with me. Sweet AC's got the faces that are keeping it fly, with Budrum 90 and a tiny wolf keeping an eye. Teach Courage on the 7 Seas making a splash, with the Stu 13 and Rusty Bale are making a dash. A Rockety is stoic and they keeping it real, while Acna Oak and Bannon plays are breaking the seal. We play the games we want, we hope to play more soon. Taylor's Cole, we can interactively deliver the moon. There's a handful of you left now, so please don't leave that party. Like Broman, Drum, Spook, YouTube, and Kinsims, you're so tardy. Oruko 23, you know we see you around. And Graham, bro, you best behave, or Ride or Die will shut you down. The only homeboys left that we have yet to shout out are Andrew 813 and Callum Max, so bow now. Now, thanks to some dumb pranksters, this rap continues on with the producers, subtle straps, and pharmacists, the list goes on. Anthus looking swish and Kitsuki Inari too, and Blender Head Games, you know we got you, boo. That was my producer rap, you know I did it well. That's why you let the gay go last, so you can rot in hell out.
Oh my god!
Straight fire! Fire!
My god!
Hi guys, I'm back.
That was phenomenal!
So good.
Unbelievable. Give it up for Gary Hogg-Simmons.
Blunder Boy. Yeah. Blunder
Oh
Boy,
my
you will be pleased to know that we are on a level 5 hype train.
Oh my days, that was phenomenal. A few choice comments for you. Ride or Die, I effing love these guys. Original Stephen, yes, Queen. Heza Beam, this is everything. And a wrong G spot, my sexual confusion is at an all-time high.
I think my personal favourite is actually from Totana, Nicki Minaj, more like Nicki No Vag.
Brilliant, Gary. Phenomenal.
I'm going to remove my face and change back into myself as this stream goes on. So you will quickly see Nicki Minaj flash the female gremlin melt away.
It's a bit female gremlin, but...
Yeah, I was putting the lips on, it's like, oh my god.
Right down to the costume. It's unbelievable.
Well done, Blunder Boy. What a rap to finish on. Oh,
and like female gremlin, I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's kind of both ways.
So that's spreading the news. We're reading today.
Listen, Gary, if you want to start getting ready to be more comfortable, you're quite happy to stay like that, that's fine, but we could move on if you want.
What we'll do is, I need to take my boobs off because they're sweating.
You need to take that green wig off because you've literally vanished into your background. The magic.
Phenomenal, Gary. What can we say? What can we say?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so good. So good.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my t-shirt's right there, so I'll just go whip my boobs off and I'll be right back.
No worries. Everyone, give it up for Gary Hogg-Simmons with the last producer rap. If you ever want to get in touch with us, here's how you can do it.
Reaching the Niiiiine is easier than ever. Search for the Nearly Men Video Games podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or your preferred podcast player. We stream on Twitch. Follow Colin at Colin_NM. Follow Paul at Paul Kaczynski, all one word. Follow Gary at Blunderboy87. And let's get social on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram where we are at Nearly Men, or go old school and email us on info@thenearlymen.com. Need all that again? Links are on our website, thenearlymen.com. So what are you waiting for?
Indeed, get in touch, let us know. Please give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter and all that jazz, and give it up for Gary Hogg-Simmons. Wow!
Yes! I mean, so I didn't start writing it until Monday.
You give me the fear.
Just bashed out.
When was Paul's stream where we were talking about sandwiches?
That was Monday.
Monday. So it was after that stream I sat and wrote it because I was like, right, I kind of need to do this.
Phenomenal.
And there was a lot of good material in that stream. So
my days. A level 4 hype train. Good. Thank you so much, everyone. No, level 5.
Level 5.
Level 5.
Unbelievable.
So just need to do that. It was the wig. It was the wig. And just to wear that all the time.
Yeah, yeah. If I do my sequel, I will not be wearing a wig.
You're going to have to do it on a boat, Colin. You're going to have to get on a boat.
An actual boat.
Live on location.
Oh, thank you so much to everyone for the hype train. That was unbelievable. Thank you for all the bits, all the subs, everything. Thank you so much. And the boy deserved it.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Should we get back to the program at hand?
Yes, indeed. Let's do.
Questions and comments from last time. Just to let everyone remind everyone, our Last of Us Part 2 spoiler cast is out. A few people have watched it and spoke to a few of us individually about it. I know Hesabeam was saying that she listened to it and loved the fact that none of us agreed with each other.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
I was right and everyone else was wrong. I mean, that's what happened.
Outrageous.
It's so nice that you think that. And then Dancing Toaster get in touch saying, listen to the Nearly Men spoiler pod on The Last of Us Part 2, smiling away until Paul Kaczynski confirmed that I put my foot in it with a spoiler before he'd reached that part. Oh, what's my parents at the Nearly Men?
Excommunication, I believe someone said.
I told them on Twitter, excommunication. Get him out of here. Take him away.
It was so throwaway as well. It was just like, oh, how are you getting on with The Last of Us 2? I'm at such and such. So, I didn't know there was a such and such.
I love it. But yeah, so please do go give it a listen if you've played Last of Us Part 2, and then let us know your thoughts and feelings. Who do you agree with? It is a very divided chat. There's no like all three of us have very different opinions and feelings, and I kind of agree with each other at some points, and then next minute like no. I mean, if I do say so myself, it's a very entertaining listen.
Yeah,
and I think that's what makes art. I think art should be like that. I think that if ever you argued about whether video games are art, I mean, I think we all think that they definitely can be art, but that is it. That is it in a nutshell. If it's that divisive, but not in. It wasn't as divisive as like, is it good or is it bad? It wasn't that. It was about everything else. I had a great time chatting about it. We thought we were going to do like 40 minutes on it, and we ended up doing like an hour and a half near enough.
Yeah.
And we could have kept going, I think.
Yeah.
Shall we look at the news?
News.
I say that like there's a lot of news. The gaming community is very quiet just now.
I know. I could only get one thing straight in that barrel.
Like I had a look and was like, and there's some stuff we can talk about, but the biggest thing that we found is xCloud is joining Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on the 15th of September, and this comes from Matt Wales at Eurogamer.net. Microsoft's xCloud game streaming service will be made available as part of the company's Game Pass Ultimate on 15 September. Game Pass Ultimate is Microsoft's top-tier Game Pass offering, bundling together subscription access to a sizable range of PC and console games, as well as Xbox Live Gold, special member discounts, and perks. Come 15 September, however, that will be expanded to include over 100 games that can be streamed via xCloud to Android phones and tablets. Additionally, Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will have access to their Xbox friends list, achievements, controller settings, and save progress once they've downloaded the official Xbox Game Pass app to their mobile devices. Microsoft says its full xCloud-enabled catalogue will be detailed closer to release, but has confirmed the likes of Destiny 2, Sea of Thieves, Minecraft Dungeons, Gears 5, Yakuza Kiwami 2, and Life is Strange developer Don't Nods Tell Me Why will all be streamable on launch day. Furthermore, starting 15 September, all Xbox Game Studios titles will be streamable from day one of their release. Xbox One Bluetooth, wireless, and PlayStation 4 DualShock controllers will be supported for streaming, and Microsoft says it's teamed up with Razer, PowerA, 8-Bit Dot, and Nacon to release a number of other cloud gaming accessories, including travel controllers, clips, and controllers that can be split and attached to a phone. Microsoft is classing xCloud September launch as a beta, and it will initially be available as part of Game Pass Ultimate in 22 countries.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. That's quite a big thing.
Yep.
It's good. I've played Xbox. I've played Xbox.
I've played an Xbox.
You played Xbox, or do you like the Xbox?
I've played xCloud a wee bit. I was in the wee preview program for it. I've not used it much. I've tried it in my house and I've tried it out my house, and it's pretty impressive. The out the house stuff was brilliant. I managed to play Madden on my phone, and it was pretty seamless. I've not got 100 of data on my phone, so I couldn't sit and play it for ages.
Mm-hmm.
But in my house, I had to make sure I was on the higher band of Wi-Fi, the 5 gigahertz, because if it's not on the higher band, it just doesn't quite cope. I don't know if that's going to change when it's the proper release, but in the 2.4 or whatever it is, it just wasn't cutting the rug. But on 5, it was very smooth, very slick. It worked every time. I had no issues at all. And the addition to Game Pass is a brilliant thing. An absolutely brilliant thing. I don't know how much I'll use it because I'm in my house quite a lot, so I don't know why I would sit playing it on my phone where I could sit playing it on a console.
Yeah.
But you know, if you go away or whatever, and it relies on the Wi-Fi. That's the thing. It's the same with Stadia. It really heavily relies on the Wi-Fi. One big thing is them calling it a beta, which Stadia should have done from the beginning.
Yeah. I think maybe they've learned from Stadia's mistake, and they're like, yeah, let's not. Yeah. You're like, this is it, baby. Because then everyone was like, is it? Is it really? Is that it?
Is this another thing that makes the new Xbox even less necessary?
Pretty much. That's why I think they're not that bothered about putting their foot in it with the console.
Weird. It's weird. Why are they making the console?
Yeah,
I think what they're saying is if you want to play these games at the best possible way you can play them, other than get a gaming PC, is get the Xbox Series X. So if you want to play, I don't know, Assassin's Creed Valhalla at the best possible way you can on an Xbox system, then it's Xbox Series X is the way you're going to do it. But if you want to just be in the ecosystem, then you can play it on an old Xbox, you can play it on a PC, you can play it on your phone, you can play it on a tablet. Android only at the moment.
Don't get me wrong, I think this is amazing, right? And I have been overwhelmed with how good Game Pass is realistically for the price of things. My issue is, you know, we've got 2 consoles coming out with a lot of exclusives on either side. It kind of feels like the Xbox exclusives aren't really exclusives anymore because you could stream them on your PC or on your phone if you've got Game Pass, but the PlayStation ones still are. So therefore, if you've only got money for one next-gen console, then I don't see why you wouldn't get the PlayStation and then get Game Pass for your PC or your Xbox One. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I don't really see why they've went to all the bother of making an Xbox One X in the first place, and the cost of developing it, and the cost of manufacturing it, because it just seems fairly unnecessary.
I think it's going to grab those people that don't want to spend $2,000 on a gaming PC.
But if you're streaming it, surely you don't need a gaming PC.
No, but that's what I'm saying is if you don't want to spend it on a gaming PC, then you're much more likely to get a £500 console if you want something to play it on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the like local multiplayer and all that kind of stuff works with gaming cloud and all that. But Aye, so it's about bringing people in. So you get a handful of people in that will get the console at $500, but then you'll also have everyone else who's not getting it. But what they're doing is they're getting you into a subscription model, which is the way the world is going. So it's like a phone. Essentially, you're paying up you're paying up your console.
Mm-hmm.
So you are paying, what is it? Ultimate's I think $10.99 a month. So you are paying £11 every single month.
Yeah, but that's not a bad. I mean, this is purely as long as the streaming does work well, but I'm sure it will. But I mean,
that's why I think it's clever.
The multiplayer must work.
That's why it's clever giving it into the game into Game Pass.
Well,
is because you're not just paying for your streaming service. You're paying for Xbox Live Gold, which I think is going to disappear anyway. But you're paying for your game library and all that jazz.
It doesn't look like Xbox. I saw somebody saying there was people speculating that Xbox Live's going. I wish I had the quote from somebody. It might have been Phil Spencer or somebody. I can't remember. Don't take that as a quote. But they said that there's going to be no change to Xbox Live Gold, so that is still happening. So you might still need that on top of it, because they're not changing that. Yeah, but that's the thing. They're keeping Xbox Gold.
That's the thing. If you're going to pay whatever it is, $4 for Xbox Live Gold every month, you may as well go. Oh well, I'll pay the extra whatever it is, $7, and get the full package kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be loads of people that fall into that category. And once you get that many people paying that subscription model, then you're going to get more money than people buying a console.
Yeah, but then why build? This is still my issue. Why build the console in the first place? I mean,
I think it is just for those people that want to play it in that top of the range way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I do get that. But this is the thing, right? Clearly, xCloud's what they're wanting, right? This whole sort of like they want this entity rather than a specific thing. But the issue is that then, so Sony are going a bit more old fashioned. They're selling a console. They're going to play games on their console. They'll have exclusives. It'll be the only place, as we know, nothing's the only place because the PC stuff and all that will eventually come again. But you play PlayStation games on a PlayStation, whereas on Xbox, you play Xbox games on your PC. You can now play them on your phone. You can play them on this. And I'm just like, well, why buy the Xbox One X or whatever it's called? Is that what's it called?
The Series X.
Why buy that? Why buy that? Especially if you don't even need a really gutsy gaming machine because you're streaming. They're handling most of it on their end. You just need a decent connection and a powerful enough machine to handle the frame rate or whatever. I don't know. It's a strange one. I mean, if any companies are mad enough to do it and rich enough to do it, it is companies like Microsoft and Sony. I just think it's a strange business decision because the danger is that yet again we know that when it all came down to it, this generation on consoles sold was won by Sony. Whatever people think about the individual consoles, what they like, Sony sold more PS4s than Xbox sold Xbox Ones. And it just looks like Xbox aren't that bothered about it again. So it just looks like, and I know that things like this are judged on more than just console or units sold, but it just looks like yet again, it's probably going to be deemed as a sort of failure on units shipped because they've actively made their console less necessary, less essential.
Less of a need, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bold strategy. I just think it's a bit of an odd strategy.
It's interesting. I think every generation Microsoft try to have a gimmick of some kind.
Yeah.
Like with the 360, it was multiplayer. We're going to get everybody playing together, and that really worked.
They won.
It really worked. With your Xbox One, it's an entertainment system, which didn't work.
That did not go very well.
And with this one, it's about cloud gaming and sharing things, if you like. So your Xbox Series X can play somebody on the PC and different things like that. And it just seems gimmicky. Whereas Sony are a bit kind of rooted and just but like we're playing games. That's what our machine does. Is it plays games.
Mm-hmm. Oh. It's like watching the trailer just now. This first I've seen it. It is the most ridiculous thing ever. I've just got in from my work, so I'm just going to sit in my stairwell and play my game on my phone. No. Why when you could go upstairs to your living room and play a console?
Because they've not bought the console.
And then, but then it's like, go sit on your couch, or a girl out by the ocean. I'm just gonna sit here and play my phone game. Or that guy standing by his window. I'm just gonna stand at the window. I'm like, it's really strange marketing. Never like I've had like every console ever, pretty much, and I always get a handheld, and I love them. But a handheld is never something I go and play outside. I'll sit in my house and play it, and I'll maybe take it for a train journey. But a train journey can be like 15, 20 minutes. I mean, I guess that's one thing with the cross save, like your save game from your console to your phone would work, because you might go, oh, I've got time to jump on and do this one mission, or I've got time to travel the map, so when I get home, I can play that by main quest. But it's just like, look, her on the roof. Who goes up to the roof to play a computer game? It's stupid. It's just
Gary Hogg's rage kicking in.
Very, very strange marketing ploy. I'm like, what? Who are these people?
Let's not forget that the Switch was also announced by people on a rooftop playing Switch.
I don't even remember that. Like, but my Switch, I play my Switch in the house. I don't take my Switch out with me. It's look at her sitting on her stairs. A poor weirdo.
I mean, that's just somebody that's never been mugged.
That's not the south side of Glasgow, is it?
No, it's so bizarre. And like I put my Switch in my bag with every intention of playing it wherever I go, and then I forget it's there. And it's nice to have the option there and maybe have it. But like, if you're going somewhere, surely you're going somewhere
to do something.
Don't take your phone out and sit and play Sea of Thieves by the ocean. Oh look, the sea. No, let's play Sea of Thieves. It's like, but did you just go for the smell? Buy a Yankee candle that smells like the ocean.
I would love to play Sea of Thieves by the ocean.
She's playing a racing game by the sea. Like what? Just go to Hill Street, play that.
I suppose the thing with the Switch is you sometimes you have to physically be next to each other to play together.
Yeah.
Is one thing about it, and it is that kind of thing of, oh, I've got my Switch with me. Oh, do you want a game of Mario Kart? Well, here you go. We can use these controllers.
Yeah.
But to me, the Xbox streaming thing, I just don't know how I can't see the local multiplayer, how it would work. Unless you're both on it, but then it's not local multiplayer. You're essentially online.
I don't think there will be much local multiplayer unless it's like.
I don't know.
Indie games like
that gets beat with that. You know what I mean?
I mean, if it's something like Overcooked 2 or Gang Beasts or something, you'll have local because it's one screen. But anything more than that, I mean, you know, it'll just be like playing online. It will be playing online. But the multiplayer aspect will obviously work, because I mean, you can't be advertising games like. I mean, I know Destiny 2 is an old game, but they're mentioning Destiny 2. They're mentioning Sea of Thieves, Minecraft Dungeons. I mean, these are all multiplayer games. These games are better played with people.
It's weird. Like when I first got my Switch, we went to Gran Canaria, and it was great because I played it in the plane. When I went to New York, I could sit and play it in the plane. But it was like, and then we went to the beach in Gran Canaria. I'd take it to the beach and play games at the beach. That was nice, but I don't know. It's just I think I'd rather take that and play games like that than take my phone to just play anything. That's weird. I don't know.
It's not something that I do an awful lot of. I had my Vita and would take it with me on holiday, and I actually didn't use it that much.
Yeah.
To be honest. And you know, it's a funny one because actually, Paolo was talking about this the other day, and I'm sure we feel the same. I don't know about you, Gary, but. Since we've been streaming, I haven't really played a game for fun in ages. And as a result, I actually sat down the other day thinking, I'm going to play something, and I just sat and looked at the screen for like 40 minutes while I tried to decide something to play. So maybe it's about burnout or a bit of like change perspectives or whatever. But I don't know if I don't know. I mean, well, the problem is I'm self-employed. I don't do a lot of commuting. I could maybe see myself doing that if I commuted to and from my work. But I don't do that. So,
but like Gary says, it's going to be 15-20 minutes. Well, it is in Scotland and England and things like that. You know, America it might be a bit different, but you're really going to fire up Assassin's Creed for a 12-minute train journey.
It's the most popular type of transport. Undergrounds and trains which go through tunnels and cliffs, and so you're just going to be dropping out constantly.
Well, infrastructure is going to be a big issue. It is going to be an issue, but also see it's strange as well because see the games they've mentioned, right? Destiny 2, right? For instance, well, never mind Destiny 2 for me. That game's ancient, right? Sea of Thieves, Paolo, is there anything that you can do in Sea of Thieves in about 10 minutes?
Load the game.
Because even when you load the game, you're in a different place, so you log out every time you're going.
Get all your I mean, maybe like Evil Monkey, maybe people that have been playing it an awful lot are a bit sharper. I've watched some streamers and they fly through, but even then, I don't think you could go do something, get your loot back, do that, and exit the game before you had your 15-minute taxi journey or whatever, or your
yeah.
So it's a strange one. Minecraft Dungeon. I mean, maybe you could run a level of that. And
the levels are quite big, though. I was watching people play it, and if it's a new level, you're going to be like running around trying to figure out what to do. So
again, Gears 5, Yakuza Kiwami 2, and anything by Don't Nod, like Life is Strange, anything like that. What are you going to manage in 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Now,
half a conversation, like that's great, guys. Thanks.
As I said, a little game of Gang Beasts, or I don't know, a level of Overcooked 2, or something like Animal Crossing, for instance, where you could jump in and do a little thing.
Yeah.
That might work, but that's a strange. I mean, they're obviously going for power there. They're obviously going to show, oh, look at these big games that you can play on thing. But if we've learned anything from things like the Vita, things like the Switch, it's those aren't the games that you play on handhelds. Yeah.
Like
those
when I
used. Sorry, no, I was just going to say those are the games you put on a handheld to show somebody how cool it is, right? You go, look, I've got Sea of Thieves, but you'll never bloody play it for any great length of time on that.
Aye.
You'll be playing things like Carrion or Rogue Legacy or I don't know, Binding of Isaac. You'll be playing little things on those experiences. So it's an odd one to. I realise I know why they've gone for these big sexy names like things like Sea of Thieves. Microsoft Microsoft should slap Sea of Thieves on everything because everybody loves the game. It's brilliant. I know Blunderboy's a bit impartial at times, but it is their big game. For me. It's like. I mean, honestly, if they made Sea of Thieves or Sea of Thieves 2 Xbox Series X exclusive, and I mean exclusive, then that would maybe have me jonesing a bit. But I wouldn't play it handheld. It's a glorious looking game. I don't want to play it on a wee phone screen.
Like the only game I ever played in my commute to work, and it was like to Drum Chapel, was Animal Crossing, and I literally had time to run around and grab a fruit. And de-weed. It was like you used the time for like everyday tasks, nothing too interesting. You're like I'm sitting in a train doing nothing. Let's go do the rubbish stuff, which I don't like doing in the house. So it was kind of like that's what it was good for. But I don't think you could do it, like. And the worst thing would be if you get so invested in the train and you miss your stop, and then you're like, oh no, late for work.
I'm intrigued to see how it works out. You know. On paper, it seems like a wee bit overkill for it all. Like we were saying, there's no much use to it for us. I'm curious to see how it is when it starts rolling out and what people are doing with it.
Yeah. As I said, it fair play to them. They're giving folk options, but I'm just not sure how it works business for them. I just think if this was the thing they were really focusing on, then why not just make that the big thing? But I do see Tatana saying that he thinks that it's maybe them sort of covering their back, and maybe they're pushing xCloud, and if all else fails, they've got a console to fall back on, and maybe, but that's an expensive thing. I mean, if you're that serious about xCloud, just go for it.
I've got to point out in the chat that Evil Monkey's just gifted a sub to the Niiiiine Men to Xbox. Evil Monkey, that's too much.
Right, get Phil Spencer in here right now. I'm going to slap him about the dish a bit. Thank you, Evil Monkey. Evil Monkey is the master of the passive-aggressive gifted subs.
Oh, brilliant.
So good.
But that's really the only big bit of news. I mean, I guess some news we could discuss would be Fall Guys being such a hit that it broke the servers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which they were totally unexpected to get, and they spent the whole day, launch day, trying to like vigorously fix it, and then their tweets were hilarious. Whoever's their social media guy needs like a gold medal because he's just
Well,
like it was like we tried to soft launch it and then 100,000 of you rushed on. It's like so now we just shut it down again, and then it was like guys, I don't touch the servers. I'm just a social media person. Stop shouting at me. And I was like,
the community manager was very funny, and he said, and to all the people who keep tweeting to me telling me to stop tweeting and fix my goddamn game, he says, I'm just the community manager. Believe me, you do not want me trying to code this game. It's like, yep, you've won Twitter.
Yeah, well done, man.
It's a shame that the servers are struggling, but it's also a good thing because it just shows how popular the game is. I mean, it's hilarious. It's very fun.
Gary Hogg nearly won in his first game.
Oh, I know. Could taste it.
Yes, he did nearly win, and then literally snatched defeat from the jaws of victory in the most epic fail I've seen in a long time.
I was like, I could stop running, and then went, boop.
If we were ever in doubt that Gary Hogg was a nearly man, that moment sealed it.
So, for anyone who didn't see, he had to grab the crown, right? So he comes all the way up. He's battled up this entire assault course. He's in first place, and he jumps in there. And all he had to do was jump up and grab this crown from the air, right? And instead he sort of ran off the edge, and then he did that kind of Scooby-Doo thing where they kind of like run in mid-air and then sort of like realise and just fall.
I didn't even jump. So what happened is I was running up and the other guy was running, and I was like, oh my god, he's going to get out before me. And that's when I noticed the crown goes up and down. So as he jumped, it went out of reach, and he fell first. So I tried to stop to then hop and grab it, and it just kept running. And it was like, no. And then the wee guy behind me jumped and grabbed it, and I was like, you're welcome. I did that on purpose.
Very good, very good.
But and then Steam and Dead by Daylight were having server issues as well.
Oh,
it was asking people to rebuy the game who've owned it for 4 years.
Oh no!
Yeah, they did like a hot fit. They did like a Tuesday night at like midnight. They do their server update, and that happened. And then because me and the original Stephen were playing, and we get kicked, and I was like, oh, so we went to Twitch to look at the big streamers, obviously, and be like, is their Dead by Daylight working? And there's one that we kind of talked to, but he's still had, and I was like, oh, is yours down as well? I was like, yeah, there's maintenance. This always happens every week, but it'll be back up soon. So then it started. So I was watching them, and then it was like, you must buy this game. And then all the DLC get deleted from everyone's Steams. It was just like everyone was in utter confusion. It was back by the next day, and they did a hot fix to fix some orders as well. But it was a very confusing 48 hours for servers, it seems.
It's a dangerous game doing that to a community who spend all day murdering each other.
But that's it. There's not been much happening, guys.
Well,
I think it's time for some Cozy's Crumbs.
Cozy's Crumbs.
That always takes a wee bit too long, that transition. It's always a wee bit too long.
Uncomfortable silence.
I'll need to try and get a keyword that's a wee bit earlier. A couple of wee crumbs for you. PS4 controllers will work with the PS5, but only for PS4 games.
Oh.
Which is nice, but not so great.
That's interesting. That's
so yeah, if you want to play your PS4 games backward compatible on your PS5, your PS4 controllers will work. But if you want to play a PS5 game, you'll need a PS5 controller. So is the law.
It's like, I mean, I know this is a crumb, so we're moving on, but I don't think that's such a big deal. I think there's haptic feedback in the controller. There's the sound. There's all the various features that are in the new DualShock, which they're desperate to use. And why would you? And nobody buys a console without a controller. So you have a PS5, you'll have a PS5 controller. And okay, I understand about local multiplayer, that will be an issue, but I love getting a new controller with a console, as long as it's good. As it's good.
But you know, once you've spent £600 on a console, you don't want to spend another 60 on another controller.
Well, just don't have any friends.
That's it. There it was. Colin Little fixing the world for us. Another crumb for you is I've got a real excitement about Microsoft Flight Simulator, and VR has been confirmed. Not going to be for launch, but it's coming, which is great. I mean, I've not got PC VR. I'll need to get the PSVR hooked up to the PC and try that again, because I got that working for a while. But it's coming out, and it's going to start with HP's Reverb G2, which is coming out soon. And that's going to be the first one to support it, basically. But it is coming for your Oculus and your Vives as well, I believe. And this was a huge thing because everybody's crying out for it. Because it looks so beautiful and it's so thorough that it was just crying out to be VR.
How many discs is that going to come on?
10 discs for Microsoft Flight Sim, 10 DVD discs. The download is 150 gigabytes.
That's insane. That's almost half the size of a Warzone update.
Anyway, that was your Cozy Scrums. There you go.
Thanks. Moving on to some freebies. Oh, here we go. Starting with Games with Gold.
Good luck.
Oh, gosh, it's like a drag race. From the 16th of July to the 15th of August, you get Dunk Lords Sports Beat 'em Up. Is that still gone on the Xbox One? From the 1st of August to the 15th of August, you get MX Unleashed Motocross on the Xbox One. And does that mean it's from the original Xbox?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, wow. Goodness.
Pretty sure.
1st of August to the 31st of August, you've got Portal Knights, which is a survival RPG on the Xbox One. 16th of August to the 31st of August, Red Faction 2, an FPS on the Xbox One, which is from the original Xbox. And from the 16th of August to the 15th of September, we have Override Mech City Brawl, which is a fighting game on the Xbox One. Wow, that's like 3 months worth of games there.
That's WADs. Pure WADs, I think is the correct term.
And then PlayStation Plus, keeping it simple. For the month of August, you can get Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, which is an FPS on PS4, and Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, which is the multiplayer madness on PS4. Remember, it is only going to be free for that month, and it's a crappy game, so you may as well pick it up while it's free.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all our freebies.
There you are. I forgot to turn it to PS Plus. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the chat. Sorry.
But yeah, again, a lot of the games I'm a bit like, if it kind of feels like they're winding down a bit.
I wonder if they're going to give, like, you know, in October, are they going to give Horizon or something like that for PS Plus? Xbox, it doesn't matter because you can play them whatever on whatever machine you want. So.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel a little bit like things are winding. Every month, everyone's like, "This is the date. This is the month that we're going to get such a big game," and then you don't necessarily. I think the games have been fairly big. My issue with PS Plus in recent months has been the sort of way they've been building the games or building the sort of months, and you know, putting 2 of the same games out at the same time. It's just weird, and it's that month they had, what was it? Was it Call of Duty World War II and Star Wars Battlefront? And then the month before it they had 2 Sims. They had farming
2 Sims, yeah.
And you're like, why not just swap one of them from each one, and then you've got a shooter and a sim, and then a shooter and a sim, rather than just 2 shooters and 2 Sims. That seems strange. But it's also adding certain games, like, so they gave you Star Wars Battlefront once that game was completely done, totally done, which was strange. But you know, I suppose it is what it is, really, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, they're essentially free games. I know you pay a subscription, but you know, before everyone screams at me.
Yeah, I mean, loads of people still play Battlefront. Do you know what I mean? It's still, even streaming, there's loads of people playing it.
Oh yeah, well that's what Tutana's saying there. Yeah, it's huge, but that's a good thing. It's just, I mean, that was probably not a great example, but there have been games.
Get to the back of the queue, and go and get it.
They've added once, and you're like, it's not quite what you kind of hoped, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of games, what have we been playing?
What have we been playing?
What have we been? So, last time Colin and I spoke about Ghost of Tsushima. Paul Kaczynski, are you able to speak at all about it? Have you managed to boot it up?
I have.
That's clap again.
I just realised it's the wrong clip there. Bear with me.
That was fun.
I booted it up and I
Watch me die again.
I got very, very. I mean, I don't think I'm not even through the tutorial. I don't think I've not got a horse. Put it like that. That'll kind of tell you where I am. So I've literally done what you're watching at the moment, I think. But I was just too tired. I was shattered. It was one of those days where, as Colin was saying earlier, that you thought, oh, I'll play a game for fun, and I was falling asleep doing it. I was watching Colin stream, I think, at the same time, and I was like, oh no, I'm falling asleep. So I did very little, but I love it. It's really nice. It looks beautiful, and it's really, really nice. My only gripe with it, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before. We spoke about what we're going to do. We're going to play it in Japanese. We're going to play it in English. Blah blah. The Kurosawa mode and all that. And I've chose to do it with Japanese audio and English subtitles in the kind of full color, basically.
Yep.
And it didn't dawn on me though that it's dubbed Japanese. So the cutscenes, they're speaking English, and it's Japanese over that. Whereas I thought it would be the other way about. I think just because my mind thought, oh, it's a Japanese game, so it'll be dubbed English. But no, it's dubbed Japanese.
Daybreak spotted that seconds into my stream when I streamed it at like midnight.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So the cutscene, their mouths are moving with the English words, but you're hearing Japanese.
I get it. Yeah. To me, it kind of adds that old. It's like a reverse in the old dubbing where it was the Japanese words and the English accent voice, but it kind of ties into that old.
It's
film thing for me. I feel like.
I'm gonna have to turn it on to English. I'm struggling to follow the story because I'm either having to focus on fighting or focus on reading, and that's. I think it's being a bit of a barrier to me. I wanted to enjoy it in Japanese, but it's very difficult to keep up with everything, and it was a nightmare to stream with Japanese.
Yeah, I can imagine.
See when you're trying to say something in the chat, and you're like, oh, and you've lost the entire, and the subtitle's gone. You've lost the entire thread, and as a result, I don't think it's properly got its hooks into me yet.
Oh, I'm pure hooked in, man.
So I'm gonna.
I think that's because I'm off stream. And I'm playing it for fun. The whole thing we're talking about, I've just been playing it when I feel like it and running around the island by foot. I'd even use my horse. I'm like, horse, go away. I'm like up to my elbows in side quests. I'm loving all the stories still. Like, I know what the main quest is meant to be. Yeah. But I'm just like, no, you can wait.
I've got a few gripes about the controls.
You said this last time. Is it the R2 thing? I sure love it. I'm like,
drive me up the wall, man. The amount of times that I go up to my horse and press triangle to get on my horse, because that's because
you're a Red Dead boy, though.
Red Dead and all that, and I slice my horse in two, and it's really.
I was having lasagna for dinner.
I don't have any issue with the controls, but
so far
I like R2. I like running and just whacking R2. I don't know why. It feels quite natural to me.
But there's other bits I love. I love the fact you don't have to get your horse to pick up items. I love that. That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I love the sort of calling folk out and having the standoffs. That's magnificent. I think the game looks gorgeous. Like honestly, every way you turn, you're like, oh, it's amazing, and it just fills you with this glory. It's an absolute love letter to Asian cinema. I mean, obviously Japanese cinema, but also Chinese cinema as well. It's got that whole sort of thing. You know, it's got there's scenes that look just like out of Crouching Tiger or out of House of Flying Daggers. It's just these glories and all the blossom falling. You're having these spectacular duels and fights. The combat is tricky. It's really tricky, but I'm liking how hard it is. My issue is I'm still a little bit struggling to do everything I want to do, because I'm like, I can't quite remember these controls. I can do all the sword stuff, but see, when I want to throw my
the kunais, oh, I love them.
I'm like, I always at the last minute forget how to do it, and then I'm sliced in half. So the controls, I'm not sure about the controls. They might grow on me. I think the game looks brilliant. I really thought this game was going to like just grab me and drag me through it, and it hasn't quite done that to me yet. And I'm a bit concerned that it's going to pass me by. But I think I just need to just relax and play it. I think it's difficult sometimes when we spend so much time talking about video games and streaming video games and doing this, and we've been doing this podcast for a long time, and we review games. I think it's quite difficult sometimes to not spend all your time analysing something and actually just enjoy the game.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm struggling with a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, I was a lot like that with movies for a long time. Of every single movie, I would sit down, I would, as you say, analyse it, and just, to me, I wouldn't be watching what the screen is. I'd be watching them shooting it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'd be seeing how they did. How would you do that? How did that happen? Where's that light coming from, and all that kind of stuff. And it took me a long time to back out of that a wee bit. So I totally get what you mean.
Yeah,
I don't have that issue.
it's the
I'm
same.
like, wee, game.
It's the same whenever I go to see a play. I just sit there and go,
Aye.
I should be in this.
That's funny because when I go to see a play, I sit there going, Colin Little should be in this.
That's that bit from Scrubs, Paolo, where it's like, wow, how low is my self-esteem? I'm the sidekick in my own dream.
One thing I love as well about the game is there's loads of stories without them being stories. Like, and this, like, I mean, everyone knows how I'm feeling about open world games these days, that the world's just, they're open, but there's a world going on. Whereas this game, you'll stumble upon like bears mauling bad guys, which is hilarious. Or you stumble upon like bad guys attacking like islanders and you've got to help them, or bandits and stuff. But there's lots of unspoken stories. So I was just kicking about and I saw a little island, and I kind of climbed down to it, and on the island was a samurai, and he was kind of on his knees, hunched over, and there was like Mongolians lying around, and it was kind of like there was no dialogue, there was no items, there was no reward, but you started filling in all the blanks, and then you could follow like a blood trail, and you could. Well, the world is full of stories that you can interpret, which is really nice, and it's those small details which I think are making me get pure raging at the bad guys, like running in, throw my daggers and swipe my sword and kick them in the face, like, and that's what's really nice. The world, and I've said that the past few times to speak about it, but the world feels like a world. It doesn't feel like set pieces. It just feels so coherent and together. And a pure like dyeing my costume and using my different sword skins. I'm like, oh, I'm fancy. But
you
it
look
is
like the Lady Gremlin.
Yes,
Like
that is an exclusive Wonderboy 87 DLC. So, because you all did a level 5 hype train, you'll get that.
I think that should definitely be your next emote, Blunderboy.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
We've also you've been playing. I've not played a while. Sea of Thieves. You were playing the other night, weren't you? When I had a week off. How was it? How was your Sea of Thieves? The other
It
night?
was epic.
It was epic.
It was epic.
Paul Kaczynski's still not got the costume thing quite right yet.
Do you know, it was even worse because
Is that a blonde wig?
No, I couldn't find my normal bandana, my plain black one, so I had to borrow my wife's, which is kind of blue. But we were discussing that I look like a member of the E Street Band. I look like a guitarist.
Honestly, you turned up dressed like Steve Van Zandt.
I'll need to up my costume game, I think.
I honestly, I nearly swore there. I love this game. I love this game. It is everything I hoped it would be. So much so that I've decided I need to stream more of it. I'm gonna have a Sea of Thieves night on my stream.
Exciting. Like, I like watching it. I love watching people play it. I don't enjoy it.
I've just so much fun playing it, and I think it might grow on you. Gary, the interesting thing about Sea of Thieves is it really does not explain anything to you. Because that's quite frustrating. I know you got quite frustrated with it. You're like, well, how the hell are you meant to learn that? And I don't know. I mean, the way we learn it is people like Evil Monkey or Colshire tell us. They tell us that you need to do this, and you're like, oh okay, right. And so it's an interesting one, but I mean, it just feels like a great big game of make believe, and on all the sort of fun ways. We managed to kill some scaly ships. We had the most intense escape back to the backwaller loot. We got some lovely Russian friends who came, and we thought they were going to kill us. We had managed to defeat Flameheart. We got all this loot. We're like,
oh wow, well done.
and then this well, we got some help, these other guys, and then they turned.
Oh.
They turned and started coming towards us, and we're like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And they jumped on, and we're all in like Daybreak's there, and Jabrias and ourselves, and they're all like, they're on the ship, and I'm like, what do we do? And then they just started giving us stuff. They just started like dropping stuff, and then they started like loading up all our barrels with cannonballs and things. It was insane. They did start flirting with Daybreak. Yeah.
Giving her gifts and things.
Evil Monkey's absolutely nailed it here. He's just said tools, not rules. That is exactly what they've done with Sea of Thieves. They've kind of given you this big sandbox to play in, and you can kind of do whatever you want within reason. And I just think it's just a great game. And the community. I know there is issues with the community, just like any other community, and there has been toxic behavior, and sometimes there are folk that will grief you and just attack you for no reason. But the vast majority of the people that we've met, and every streamer we've met, have been wonderful. It's been great.
Yeah, good fun.
Nice. So more coming from you, Colin?
So I'm definitely going to stream some more of it, because I've just been enjoying it so much, and it just feels like a game that's just. And the thing is, there's been folks streaming this for years and years and years, and yet there's still folk just constantly watching and jumping about, and everybody seems to be. I mean, you're sitting there going, how can everybody be streaming this and they're not all doing the same thing? But for some reason, it's just one of those games where folk are just kind of
loving
intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Totana, we will sort that definitely.
So tell us, what else have you been playing, Colin Little?
What have I been playing? I'm going to be doing some more of this tomorrow, because it just grabbed me again. But I went back to one of my favourite games of all time earlier in the week. It is the one and only Age of Empires 2. Oh,
yes!
What a game! I love it.
Love a game like this. I love a game like this.
So,
is this a build be people game?
Yes, it's an RTS, and it's just wonderful. I grew up. So I had this. I told this on stream, but there was a. When I remember going on holiday years ago to France with my parents, right, in a caravan holiday, and just shortly before we left, I got it must have been PC Gamer or something. I got a demo disc, and there was this game on it that it was like the front of the demo disc, and it was front of the paper, the magazine, and it said Age of Empires, Ensemble Studios and all that. And I played Age of Empires for a little bit before my holiday, and my entire holiday was obsessed with me pining over going back to play Age of Empires. So much so that I stood in a French supermarket holding a big. Remember, PC games used to have those big ass boxes. Hold this big ass box and turning around and just looking at the pictures off in the back, and scanning the occasional words in French that I knew. I was 25, so I loved the original Age of Empires, and then they brought out Age of Empires 2, which is just incredible. The original Age of Empires takes you from the sort of Bronze Age through to Stone Age and all that sort of stuff. Stone Age to the Bronze Age, sorry. This one takes you kind of through the sort of medieval and Imperial Age, and it's just wonderful fun. This is the definitive edition. It's on Game Pass now. It's free to download. It also includes a free HD graphics pack, which is an insane amount of gigabytes, but what a difference it makes, and the game looks glorious.
What's even better is, as of September the 15th, you can sit on your roof and play Age of Empires on your phone.
That's it. I mean, I have to say, I don't know if you'd want to. I think it would be awful difficult to see what's happening. But in theory, you could do that.
Yeah, you could go to a forest and not build a village, but build one on your phone.
And you know what? I genuinely had so much fun playing it that I just couldn't really. It was great to stream. It was great to stream because actually it's one of those games where you actually get to interact a bit more with the chat than you maybe normally would, and you're because everything's at a bit of a slower pace until you end up under attack, which I did towards the end of the stream, and then everything was going a bit crazy.
See, that's the bit that scares me. If you're like having a wee village, then known people are going to come barter me. I'm like, no, leave my villagers alone.
I wreaked bloody havoc upon the guy that attacked me eventually.
Was it a real person?
No, it was a computer one. But I'm gonna play a game against Titana. I've got various challengers wanting a piece of me.
Ooh,
so
love it.
We're gonna do that. But it's so good. It's on Game Pass, and I could not recommend it highly enough. Maybe we should do a wee LAN battle or something. Well, not a LAN, but you know what I mean. We should do a wee battle with the Niiiiine at some point. It's definitely worth playing. It's a great game.
Nice.
I loved it. Loved it. So that was great. On top of that, I've been playing more of the Long Dark. I had a Saturday night stream, which was absolutely mental. I think there's certain people who were in the chat of that who are still recovering from their hangovers. Not pointing any fingers, but you know who you are. It was amazing. We played on Stalker difficulty, which is the hard mode. There's an even harder difficulty, and we died a bunch of times. And then, sure enough, I started naming myself after people in the chat. I was Paul Kaczynski. He died. Captain Shambles died about 1 million times. Paul Kaczynski died. And then I went, right, okay, we'll go Bry2208. He'll die pretty quick. Nope. The rest of the night, I was Bry. I can't believe it. Absolutely invincible was Bry2208. Although, I have to say, by the time we finished the stream, it was nearly blinking 1:30, 2 o'clock by the time I finished the stream. And I have to say, I don't think Bry2208 is long for the world now. Because it was all starting to go a bit Pete Tong. But what a game. It's great. And another one that's got a really vibrant, really cool community that just chat and help you. Another game that doesn't really hold your hand. And yeah, I just been really enjoying it. And then of course last night on the stream on this channel we played The Curse of Monkey Island. And apart from one moment where I turned my computer off, it was great. It was really great. I was playing it on Mega Monkey, which is the kind of game. It's got the harder difficulty. It's got extra puzzles, and I don't think I ever played it before. So I was needing some help. And although I completed the game this game came out in 1997. That was the last time I played it. So I sort of knew roughly what I had to do at each point, but I could not remember how to do it. And as the stream progressed, it was just essentially me being told what to do by people in the chat because I was struggling big time. But what a game! And I'm gonna finish it. I'm on Act 3, so I think we'll get back to it. Absolutely terrible at the banjo.
So
yeah,
where does this come in the timeline?
It's the third game.
The third game,
isn't it? Yeah.
Third game. So Monkey Island 1 and Monkey Island 2 were made, I don't know what, late 80s, early 90s or something like that. And then that was it. There was never another Monkey Island. And then I just remember there being this sort of sudden hype. I think I ended up getting a demo disc for this as well, just saying there's a new Monkey Island coming, and look at it, and it's got voice acting, and it's the animation. This is not like a HD remaster or anything. This is the old game. This is on Steam. But it really looks great. It still looks really good. There's all my at some point all my emotes got spammed as well. But yeah, I just really it was a lovely trip down memory lane, and it's still so funny. It's genuinely so funny, so well written, and just a great game really. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, I've been playing a bit of everything else, but those were the ones that kind of stuck out to me.
Nice one. Mr. Kaczynski, what about you?
Me?
You?
Well, I have been playing a little bit on the Sunday Social. I did the Kerbal Space Program, which was a whole lot of fun. I was going to say that I slightly underestimated how complicated it was going to be, but I think I knew how complicated it was going to be, and it was actually perfect for the Sunday Social because we could just throw ourselves into it and just have a good laugh with it. And we had the Captain Shambles program, which was to send a rocket into space and come back down safely. Captain Shambles Mark V was successful. Then we had the Daybreak program, which started off as going to the moon. But I quickly discovered that wasn't going to happen, so it became getting a ship into orbit and coming back down safely. And we did get into orbit, but we did not come back down safely.
Oh dear.
But it was good fun. It was really good fun, and it was just a bit of silly nonsense, and it was great.
So many shambles were hurt and killed.
Yes.
And one Daybreak is somewhere floating in the space forever.
Jebediah is left in space forever. He's forever circling the Earth. He's never coming down. He's in perpetual orbit.
To be fair, I think they did that with a bunch of dogs or something. I think NASA did that.
Outrageous. Don't tell Gary that. Jeez. Oh,
I think
no.
they did that.
No.
I think there's various animals still up in space from NASA's.
No. Don't tell him that.
Or maybe it was the Russian. I
How
don't know.
rude.
Aye.
And
I
yesterday.
could have got and get them.
Was it yesterday? Was it just
I think
yesterday?
it may be a bit late.
Tuesday it was. We played Fall Guys, and I wasn't planning on playing it the whole stream. We never did because of the servers, but I hooked it up and it worked a couple of times. Gary Hogg nearly got the crown, and then it kind of died a wee bit, and we went away and played Gang Beasts and came back, and it worked a wee bit, and it seemed to work fine when I was on my own. But the party system just completely broke down. But I had immense fun at that. I'll be playing loads of that. That is awesome.
It's
Awesome.
so much
so
fun.
fun.
It's
so
so
fun.
much.
Another Sunday social was The Witness, which I've played a wee bit before. But I started a new game and tried to do different puzzles in different ways, which was nice. And I got a wee bit further than I'd ever got. So that was nice again. It was a remarkably chill game, but taxing for the Sunday social because obviously you're using your brain quite a lot. But it's a lovely, nice wee looking game with really difficult puzzles, and it makes your brain work in a whole number of ways. But that was really good. And on that night as well, one of the Sunday nights anyway, I can't remember what it was, but for getting 100 followers, I said I would do a horror VR stream.
Yeah.
Which I did, and the good wee Maverick hosted it while I was in the VR. And I played
very
through
well.
all of Rush of Blood. I hadn't planned on playing through all of it, but my god, it was scary. There was so many swear words, it was unbelievable.
An
honestly.
Unbelievable amount of swear words.
Aye.
Were you
Unbelievable.
possessed by the mouth of me for the evening?
Indeed, aye. I was swearing like Gary Hawk.
It was indeed, aye. Quite
But
something.
it was good, really good fun. Terrifying. I can't cope with games like that at all.
This is the game I make everyone play the first time they try VR.
Exactly, it's a perfect game for that because you're on wheels. I mean, look at that. That's horrific.
I think it works very well.
You know what you should play, which I have?
No, get your eyes down.
The Inpatient.
Oh yes.
No,
yes.
no.
Yes, let's get folks into playing the Inpatient, because even I almost peed myself playing that.
No, it's
It's
so
so
unfair.
good.
So unfair.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't plan on playing through the whole thing, but it got to the point where it was so close to the game that I thought, let's go. But then I got stuck at it a bit for ages.
Aye,
It kind of dragged it on a bit, but we got through it in the end.
Did you become desensitized by the end? Do you think? Were you kind of used to it by the last chapter?
It would appear so from the stream, but I think it's because it gets less scary.
Right.
Well, you know, it depends what scares you. You know, the level I'm showing in the video just now with the kind of scary woman jumping out of nowhere and all that, and the kind of the nurses scattering about and things like that kind of stuff freaks me right out. But you know, the spider level doesn't really scare me. There was so much shooting going on, so much shooting. Spiders don't desperately scare me. You know, the pigs were horrible, but they don't really scare me. Clowns don't scare me. So you know, it just depends, really.
I think
It's
it's
a
also
spooky woman.
the weapons. Once you get, I mean, it's the same thing with Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation's terrifying until you get the flamethrower, and then it's not so scary. And the Resident Evil games were always a bit like that as well. Like they were quite scary until you got the good guns, and then you're like, I'm not that bothered anymore. I'm not that worried. And I suppose that's the same once you start getting the machine guns and things like that. You're a bit less frightened by it, I guess. But I think that's quite a good thing.
Creepy, eerie things is what scares me rather than monsters, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I suppose it just depends.
I'm loving watching the wee Maverick. She's like loving
was great.
commentating. This is great. More of this,
She was
please.
really great.
More of
Hosting
this.
me.
They did very well.
Yeah, just chatting
Very
away,
well.
make sure everyone had something to talk to and things. It was nice. It was really nice. Meanwhile, I'm papping my shants over there.
I love it. I love it.
And one more game that I've has really sunk its hooks into me is Star Wars: The Old Republic, which I'd fought for so long, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to download it and give it a go. And on my very first stream, the lovely Racturian joined me and kind of helped me out and kept me company and walked me through things, and it was so much fun doing the tutorial. It was harking back to the days of Galaxies and things like that, and it was just, it was nice. It was like Galaxies but bigger and cleaner.
Yeah, it looks really good. Like when I think of Galaxies, I think pure like blockiness and
Aye, it's huge. It's a huge world. You know, if you think of how big Galaxies was, I mean, this must be about 10 times bigger. And I've hardly scratched the surface. I've been on 2 planets and I've just got a ship now. But it was really good. And Racturian joined me on the Niiiiine stream on Monday, and we did the first Flashpoint, which is the kind of
Racturian. Is what you should be calling him.
Oh no, don't call him Obi-Wan. It would be Darth Racturian. Lord Racturian.
Do you know, this game has been wonderful. I've actually, it's been, I've not even played it yet, but I'm so pleased because it brought Racturian to us. He's been very ever present in our community since. I do see Tatana saying that Racturian's been a regular in Tatana's chat as well, which is really cool. Really cool.
Been with me.
Good dudes in the community, man.
And it's been great. And it does, I mean, it's very much tempting me. I quite fancy having a go at it, but I'm a little bit scared by the amount of buttons. The amount of buttons there seem to be, that seems a bit overwhelming.
It's I mean, obviously it's in my blood with Galaxies, so that the muscle memory's there a wee bit, but it's you can make it as easy or as difficult as you want. You can do it your way. That's what's nice about it. And you know, Racturian was telling me about these mice that have 18 buttons at your thumb and things like that.
Oh yeah, it's mental. Mark has one of those for WoW, I think.
It would come in really handy.
Yeah.
I think I've got a few buttons on my mouse.
But I mean,
I've actually just found buttons on my mouse I didn't know existed.
It's because you're kind of console. You've come from the console, so you know, playing with a keyboard is daunting at first because there is so many more buttons. But once you it builds you up, it doesn't throw you in and expect you to do everything. It does build you up, but it's great fun. Yeah, it's hard not to just play that all the time. I'm forcibly having to play different things, but there definitely will be more Old Republic on my channel.
Yes.
I have it set and downloaded. I've just not booted it up yet.
Get it done. Get it done. But that's all I've been playing.
Oh, that's been a lot. That's a lot for you. Sometimes you're like, I have played one game.
Well, streaming the extra day has been really good for me, and it's kind of opened me up a bit. As it were, madam.
Oh my goodness. Well, I've been playing. So this was my last week of my summer schedule. Back to the real world for me next week. And I don't quite know what my schedule is going to look like, but I'm going to talk about some games that I've been playing this week. So I have been like fully submerged in Dead by Daylight this week because the new archives opened up. So the archives are we're on the third tome. They call them tomes, and it's a bunch of challenges you can do, and it just gives the game that kind of longevity and a new lease of life. And some are quite easy, like one is repair 15 generators, and you get 15,000 blood points and a bunch of shards towards your Rift achievement, and we'll talk about that in a second. But then you get some really hard ones, so it's like fully use 2 medikits and escape the trial, and you're like, oh. There was one that I've not done, and it was destroy 5 hooks within 10 meters of the killer's terror radius, which basically means you're right next to the killer, dismantling a hook. So they're quite good. They help you get extra blood points. But what they do is they build up points towards the Rift. And the Rift is kind of like a season pass. There's a free version and a premium version, and it unlocks cosmetics. So you can get like headpieces, costumes, or like little icons they can wear on their hip or the killer puts on their hooks. But if you pay 1,000 Oryx cells, which is roughly 750, it unlocks the premium path. And so in the free path, you get a reward every 4 levels, maybe. On the premium path, you get a reward every level. And some of the stuff is like brand new, like stuff that's just came out, which is like 1,000 Oryx cells in itself you're getting as a reward. But throughout the levels, if you complete it, you get your 1,000 cells back to pay for the next Rift. So really, you could only pay 750 one time ever and get to do that Rift each time. Do the premium thing each time. But I'm looking at how much the cosmetics are worth on the premium, and for 1,000 sales, you're probably getting like 10 times the reward back. So that's been real fun for me. They've introduced a new matchmaking as well, so they're not getting rid of the levels, but they're kind of. It used to be if you were rank 1 to 4, you played with rank 1 to 4 where possible. 5 to 8, you played 5 to 8 possible, like that sort of thing. But the new one is it analyzes a set of games and then it matches you with people who play at the same skill level as you.
All right.
So you could be playing with a rank 3 who's like really high up in their eyes, but they play like a rank 15 like me. And the best thing ever is afterwards they get pure salty and they're like, "Oh, well done, hiding around the map." I was like, I popped a generator and I saved you 4 times off hook. Learn to count, and I'm like, well, if you look at my screen because I'm streaming, you'll see that I get a red reward in benevolence. So don't be so salty. So it's very funny.
He said saltily.
Yes, he said saltily. It's very funny seeing people like trying like moan at either new players or less skilled players in their eyes, but you're like, you've been matched with me because you play at the same skill level as me. Think about that. But I'm loving it. And again, I've said this the past couple of weeks. This is my 3rd time trying the game, and at this time I've just got it. It's just finding lots of fun with it.
Nice.
So I've been wading through that. The Sims 4, I've been doing shell challenges weekly, which will now not be weekly. Boo. And they've been so much fun interacting with the community. Daybreak built a beautiful ice-inspired palace.
Yes.
In the last shell challenge, it was stunning. Like the creativity from everyone, Titana, Daybreak, Diet Punk, who else? We had someone I don't know put one in for the last challenge, and it's been lots of fun challenging people. Oh, Llama's been doing them as well. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do them monthly. So we still keep it going, but it gives everyone a wee bit longer to work in it.
They better be spectacular then.
I know.
A month to do it.
I'm thinking if they were doing that in a week, in a month, I'm going to be like, oh my goodness. So that'll be like one Friday a month on my New Element stream will be the shell challenge.
Nice one. You've actually got my wife on the go as well. My wife's finally playing a game. She's started that up as well.
Yeah.
So I think a month will suit her better as well. So good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm loving that. So the Nearly Men are getting a hostile takeover of the shell challenge. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait till the Nearly Men get the Sunday social, and then we're just going to be rolling in it.
But
you don't get any of my stuff. You don't get any of mine.
We don't want your stuff.
Yeah, nobody does.
But no, it's really fun, and you know, you don't need to play the game because you can just build the house. And I think I was speaking to the wee Maverick, and she was saying that really interests her because it's kind of organising and using your creativity without having to play the family sort of thing.
Yeah.
But no, we're gonna keep that going in some weird shape. I've been playing Fatal Frame, the Fatal Frame games, which, if you know me, are one of my most favourite horror games ever, and one of Paul Kaczynski's least favourite games ever.
Gary Hogg-Simmons gave it to me for my birthday one day, knowing fine well that I was terrified of it.
I bought you 1 and 2. I was like, you will play these.
I've still got them up the stairs as well.
You do. I think I've got.
Did I give you one?
Yeah, because I borrowed it from my Xbox.
Take it away from me.
Getting it back. So Fatal Frame, known as Project Zero in Europe, it's Japanese ghost stories. And you've got a camera, the camera obscura, and you use it to fight off evil spirits. The first game, which is on just now, takes place in a mansion, Himuro Mansion, where the main character's brother goes missing and she goes to find him. And it's great. It's so much fun. Like the scare factor, having this camera, the easiest way to defeat the ghost is to let them attack you and take the picture at the last minute. So it's just this like anxiety and trying to goad the ghost into attacking you. You're like, come on then, go for me. And then you've got to kind of figure out when they're going for you and step back and take the picture. It's so much fun.
Nope.
We finished the first one, Monday? Yesterday. So we finished the first one yesterday, and we started the second one yesterday, which is my favourite in the series. And it's just so nice going back and feeling spooky and enjoying the kind of the Japanese folklore, because it's all built on like Japanese Shinto religion and myths that kind of perpetuate areas of rural Japan.
Scary stuff.
So good. It's amazing. I can't wait. We're hoping that they're going to bring them out in the Switch like a remaster because Nintendo own the rights or the IP, and hopefully they'll make a 6th one because there's 5 in the series. But I'm going to continue.
No, because then you'd do the motion, wouldn't you? You'd have to hold it like a camera, wouldn't you?
Well,
what we really need is it on VR for Paolo.
Yeah, the Wii U. The 5th one came out on the Wii U with a gamepad, and you have it like a camera, and it's amazing. So I'll stream that as well. But I'm gonna run through the series. The only one we can't do just now is 4, because that was never released in America or Europe. But you can import it and download a translation patch.
Because it's considered too scary.
Maybe, we don't know. But that's so I was loving playing that. I'm going to continue playing that on my channel. And then last Friday, I put up a wee game called Carrion.
Oh.
Now, Carrion, I saw the advert for Carrion like a year ago, I'm sure. And when I went to investigate it, I don't think I had a PC, or I had a PC, but it wasn't out yet. And then I was scrolling through Instagram late one night, and I saw an advert for it. So I screenshotted it because I was like, I need to remember what this is called. The next day, the screenshot was gone. Spooky. But I remembered what it was called. It came out the day before my birthday, actually. And the premise is you play a creature, a biological entity that escapes from its containment unit, and you go on a rampage eating all the scientists and trying to escape the facility. It makes the most wonderful noise as your tentacles move you around. And I couldn't help but go nom 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 every time I ate someone. It's got lots of puzzles. You can see me try to figure out how to do the puzzles in the clip. Nothing too taxing for your brain, but enough to kind of make you go, "Oh, how am I doing that?" Challenging enough, but not to the point of frustration. It's so much fun, more fun than I expected. I'm going to be honest. It's disgusting and gross, which again is up my street. And you get bigger and bigger. I'm on my 3rd stage just now, and I am massive. But it's clever because to use some of your powers, you have to devolve yourself to a smaller version.
Oh, right, I didn't know that.
So the pink goo, you see me get smaller because then I have to go up and use my lower abilities. So it's good. It's a wee brain teaser. So much fun. So I'm going to finish that tomorrow night on the stream. Nice. And if I finish it, we'll play some Dead by Daylight until finishing time. But it's excellent. It is free on Game Pass. So if you like the look of it, go give it some love. It's not for the kind of squeamish, I'd say, with the goriness. But it's brutal unapologetically. It's great. I had so much fun with it.
Me and Racturian were watching it at the same time, and we both agreed that it was making us hungry.
Yeah.
There was something about it was making us hungry. And he's saying, "I'm hungry again." About you, Paolo.
So this game is called Carrion. I've put it in the chat because when I say it, it sounds like it might be spelled differently. It's very Metroidvania, and of disgustingness. And there is a storyline, and I'm not going to spoil it because I was dead excited to figure out, to like discover there was a storyline and piece it together. But highly recommend it. And in fact, it's in Game Pass, so you can go. I didn't know it was in Game Pass and bought it. I am glad.
Scrooge McDuck strikes again.
I'm glad I spent the £16 in it because
there you go.
Every penny so far.
There you go.
I mean,
I forget another game you can play in your roof.
Pass. Yeah, you can play that in the roof.
You can play your science lab.
Yeah, in a science lab where you're doing test subjects on aliens.
But see, this is the kind of game that you probably would play handheld.
Yes, actually,
This was my point. This is the sort of game you would potentially. I'll just do a quick level and Carrion.
I'd give you that.
You're not going to do. I'll just do a tall tale and Sea of Thieves. You're like, this is the last stop, mate. I'm almost there. I've got to go back for the Shroud Breaker.
Oh, jeez.
But yes, excellent. So highly recommended, guys. Highly recommended.
Nice.
The viewers have been in touch, and we'll rattle through these. It's quick. Although lots of them have been in touch.
Lot. Poaching reviewers.
I know. Gabby Annie's loving it. So James A42 says, nearing the end of Ghost of Tsushima. No spoilers, but saying it's epic is an understatement. But I love it. That has taken much of my time, but I had a wee look at Season 5 of Warzone. Also NBA 2K20. Fall Guys looks like fun, but not really played it. Hazosaurus Rex. I've never noticed that's our actual Twitter handle. Because we just noticed Hezabeam. So Hezasaurus Rex. Been playing Resident Evil 3, late to the party like always with it. Enjoying it so far. Watched at least 6 hours of gameplay from Fall Guys last night. Afraid if I start to play it, no one will ever see me again.
No, that's a danger. That is a danger.
Jamie Simpson playing Last of Us 2. What a game. Then had a slight spoiler and it's been deleted. MJ plays games. Been playing Neo 2 and it's so hard. Can't wait for the producer's rap. Also, Animal Crossing because my villagers are going to rebel when I go back.
Oh, my days.
Daybreak has been playing The Sims in Dragon Age Origin. And Nat Pacino, I finished Last of Us 2, OMG. Only listened to half the spoiler cast so far. All I would say is I agree with Paolo.
Yes.
Started playing Anna and Vampire. Very different gameplay, obviously. Anna, I'll just drop in and out of until it's done. Vampire is keeping me intrigued so far. I like that your actions have consequences. Also, caught up in Gary's Mindful Monday and immediately bought Viscera Cleanup Detail. Oh, it's so good. I got the horror one too, but just playing the original. My cleaning skills are exceptional. Employee of the month right here. Downloaded Fall Guys, but not had a chance to play yet. Server wasn't letting me in and not had the chance to try again. I need to go back to Vampire. I was enjoying it, then get distracted.
Was that the one you reviewed?
I reviewed
Colin,
it for the
Colin reviewed it, yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not wonderful. I think it's like a fairly solid sort of 7 out of 10 or something.
I'd agree.
But it's
I'd definitely go back and finish it. Bride 228 says, been playing Fall Guys, Shenmue 2, Shenmue 3, Ghost of Tsushima, and some Hitman 2, and The Raven. That's a lot.
That's a lot, Bri.
A lot of Bri. That's a lot of Bri.
That's a lot of Bri. But we do love it when you get in touch. It lets us know what you're playing, if we're playing anything similar, and something gives us kicks up the butt to go play something. So if you would like to get in touch, here is how you can do that.
We'd love to hear from you. Find us on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram, where we are at Nearly Men, or email info@thenearlymen.com.
There we go. I forgot.
Yes, so please do get in touch. New releases, let's get through. There's not many, you'll be glad to hear.
There isn't many.
There isn't at all. It's a quiet time in the life.
Well, I'm also trying to find a better thing. I say every month, a better kind of list. This is all right.
Yeah. So Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition on the PC on the 7th of the 8th. That's the 7th of August, 2020. Inertial Drift on PC, PS4, Xbox One and Switch on the 7th as well. A Total War Saga, Troy on the PC on the 14th of August. Oh, Kaczynski's going.
Look at Little, though. Look at Little. Little's having a heart attack. Excitement.
That's my jam. That's my jam.
And now we've got Kaczynski's jam, Microsoft Flight Simulator on the
Yes!
PC on the 18th of August. Oh, 12 days. And then another Kaczynski on PGA Tour 2K21, PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and the Stadia on the 21st of August. My goodness, this is a month for you two.
Sunday Social. There's going to be a big fight for the Sunday Social between those two games.
Sorry, Paul, I couldn't work out if you were laughing at your golf swing or you were laughing at the mention of the word Stadia.
What's that again? What's that again?
Who knows?
Oh, I'm so excited for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's ludicrous to be excited about it. And do you know what? It's great because I'm taking requests of which airports to go to. I've already had Wellington as a suggested one from my mother-in-law. I've had Barra, the land on Barra Beach, and we're going to go out and fly out to Ride or Die, head out to Kentucky, see what's what. It's going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I want a charter holiday. Yes.
Yeah, you come with us, Gary.
I'll be there. I'll make sure to sleep in this when it comes out.
I was just going to say a very quick hello to Square Go Gamers and,
hello, Square Go.
And Suki Sue, who have joined us. Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello, you lovely streamers. You nice to see you.
Questions from chat. Was there any questions from chat? Is it statements from chat?
Yeah, we've got some.
Totana was saying when we're talking about mobile gaming and things, he says he takes his Switch to work plenty and beats people at Mario Kart on his break and his lunch.
Love it. That's a good one.
There you go. Who else we got? Hezabeam was saying, can you play a PS4 game with a PS5 controller?
Yes, I think you can.
My guess is yes.
Yeah.
My guess is yes.
It's just purely to do with things like haptic feedback and all that sort of stuff. All these features that will be built. It's a bit like the reason why you couldn't use a DualShock 3 on a PS4 when it launched was because it didn't have a touchpad.
Yeah.
So all the touchpad settings wouldn't work, but you could, and I did this when I got my launch PS4. I did plug my my DualShock 4 into my PS3 and finished playing a bunch of games on the DualShock 4 because the second I went from playing the DualShock 4, the PS4, back to the PS3 controller, I was like, what is this piece of plastic nonsense? Honestly, overnight, it made it redundant. And it will almost certainly, and the DualShock 4 is a really good controller, but it will almost certainly do well, if it does its job right, it will probably do a similar thing to the DualShock 4. Yes, as far as I'm aware, you will be able to play PS4 games with your PS5 controller. It's just not the other way around. But if you play a backwards compatible PS4 game on your PS5, then you could use your DualShock 4 if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Evil Monkey says, this podcast seems like a lot of fun. I just wish they spoke English so I could understand. You cheeky son of a gun.
Don't make me put that wig back on.
He then later amended it to the fact that we spoke nearly English.
Nearly English, nearly. I'll take that. Yeah. And Suki Sue was saying, everyone is playing Fall Guys. You'll need to get on that bandwagon. Yes, you will.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
Once you start, you can't stop. It's like a famous packet of crisps.
Upcoming streams. I'm on this channel tomorrow night, Friday 7th of August.
Look at that.
I am going. Don't interrupt.
Oh, sorry. It's just you filled it out, and me and Colin are like question mark.
Paolo, can you believe that for once Gary's filled something in and we haven't?
I was going to say, I was like, I need to actually be like, look, guys, I'm going back to work, so I'm going to be a bit more on it.
Work head back on.
I'm going to be playing Carrion to the End tomorrow night, and then Sunday by Daylight if we get time afterwards. Monday 10th of August on the channel, we've got Paul playing something fun.
Something fun. At least I filled something in.
You
At least
did.
I put something there.
You did.
Never leave an answer blank, Colin Little.
He's nothing if not consistent, because Mr. Kaczynski always decides what he's streaming on the Monday night about 75% of the way through my Monday afternoon stream.
Oh, that's a good day. That's a good day. It's usually 25 minutes before I go up. I go, there we go. Hopefully this will download in time.
When is it? 12th of August, Colin? Do we know? Do we have even an inclination?
I already gave the spoiler away earlier on. We're gonna continue the Curse of Monkey Island.
It is.
We're gonna take off. We're on Act 3. We are on our pirate ship and we're setting sail for Blood Island. So that's where we're picking up on Wednesday night.
Fantastic. A week today, all three of us will be on playing. We've not decided yet. There's a lot to choose from just now, so.
I mean, yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might be Sea of Thieves. It might be Fall Guys. I mean, who knows what it'll be? I mean,
might be a mashup of things, but and then next Friday, the 14th of August, I'm going to be starting a brand new game of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Yes,
I'm that guy.
Oh, look, he's excited!
I'm so excited. That game.
Oblivion. So excited. Oblivion was the first Elder Scrolls I owned, and it was because when I got my 360, and I remember me posting Kaczynski were on a show at the time, and I was late to the technical because I get sucked into Oblivion, and I was pure like, and I was like, I'm only the stage manager, it's fine.
Just to go back to when Gary Hogg made me buy Assassin's Creed a couple of months ago, it was Gary Hogg that made me buy an Xbox 360. That same production.
It is.
Well, we can't say we basically made Totana buy a PS4 the other day. So
no. Listen. The undercover boss went and bought it himself.
I just a very quick one about Oblivion, because I know you'll be at some point listening on the podcast, but brother Jacob, producer of the podcast and friend of the podcast for many, many years, and friend of mine for even longer, but he might not be after I admit this. He bought Oblivion. When that game came out, he bought it on PC. He was so excited, and it wouldn't run on his PC. So he gave me the disc and said, listen, see if this runs on your PC, which it did, and keep it until I get my PC upgraded, and I've still got it. Still got it. Oops. He's had multiple PCs since then, and I've just forgotten. I literally just saw that and I went, oh, I think I've still got it up the stairs.
I take it he's played it now.
Oh, he's definitely played it.
That's all right. Aye.
Imagine he had to. Imagine he's like, next
still
week.
Still waiting for it.
Colin will I'll send it in the post next week. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I will play, and I'm very looking forward to it. So on PC, I got it, that Morrowind and Skyrim for £16 in the Steam sale 2 days ago. I accidentally bought it. But
That's a lot of game.
I mainly bought it for Oblivion, because Skyrim I've done, Morrowind I've never been interested in, but Oblivion, that takes me back to good times. So we're going to start a brand new game with mods and stuff as well. I'm going to faff about with it and see what we can do. But yeah, so busy week ahead, boys.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Now, before we finish off, I need to read it all 72 producers.
So get comfy, everyone.
And I'm not rapping it this time, because I've taken my face off and my boobs. So, here we go. Oh, gosh, this is so long. NJ Plays Games, Rusty Bell, Vardkin, Colshire, A Tiny Wolf, Alkine X, Enthes, Wobble 362, Sega 67, Nappuccino, Enemy Who, Snip Farm Assisted, 10 Dog, Budrun 90, Andrew H 183, Teach Courage, Dancing Toaster, Graham Bro, Final Op, Hosey Keenan 1888, Kitsuki Inari, Cryptic Baggis, Ticker 87, Rider Die 2610, Luke Boogie, Fox Die, Subtle Shraff, Andy McGee 303, Original Steven, Tipoticus, Kyokin Interactive, James A42, Mish Mallow, Oroku 23, Daybreak 1591, Venom MDK, Dave Cake 90, Stiggle Archers Off the Six, Ben in Place, Titana, Spook U2, Hamster Boy, Sweet Aces, King Sims, Atnoak, Ewapite, Jabrise, Evil Monkey, Wee Maverick, Patient Owning, Beam, Three Sheets Steep, Rye2208, Gaslit Tales, Callum Mac, Chaos Monkey, Chaz West, Sherry Bobbins 09, Victorian, Diet Pug, Blender Head Games, RNG Spot 21, Brumundrum, Arcade Glasgow, The Stu 13, Gavin Laugh, Extreme X, and Kima Smith. Thank you for being our producers.
Yay! That was like at the end of like TV programs where the credits go like that.
Or like an American advert where it lists all the side effects to I mean, the only thing that would have completed that is if you'd finished that with rectal bleeding.
I mean, that is our new subscriber.
Evil Monkey, please do not gift us a sub to rectal bleeding.
He must be out there. He must be out there.
Oh, dear me. But today has been a lot of fun, boys. That is the wraps all done. May they rest in pieces.
Indeed.
And hopefully we'll see Sabi back here tomorrow for Carrion and Dead by Daylight. Any final words, boys?
No, just thank you so much, everybody, for your support, as ever.
Thank you, you bunch of legends.
And a final big shout out to the one and only Blunderboy87 for absolutely smashing that rap.
Yes.
I believe Nicki Minaj's lawyers will be in touch tomorrow. You can catch our next episode live on www.twitch.tv/TheNailmen, 8 p.m. on the 20th of August. So please get in contact before then. Let us know what you've been playing, what you're looking forward to. But for now, it is goodbye from Colin.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Paolo.
Adios.
And it's goodbye for me. Remember to wash your joy pads. See you guys and gals.